When a narcissist realizes you've grown too strong for them to control, they don't simply walk away. Instead, they unleash one final, devastating trick, a dirty psychological weapon that Carl Jung himself warned about. And if you don't see it coming, this move has the power to undo months, even years, of your healing in just a matter of weeks. Think about that for a moment. You've done the hard work. You've built yourself back up. You've reclaimed your power. You've finally reached a place where you're no longer at their mercy. But that's exactly when they strike with a level of manipulation so cunning, so insidious, that most people never even realize they've been caught in it until it's too late. But before I reveal this last, desperate trick, we need to understand the psychological battlefield that leads up to it. Because Carl Jung discovered something most people overlook about narcissists. He said their greatest fear is not rejection, not abandonment, not even being alone. Their deepest terror is the moment when their victim becomes psychologically stronger than they are. You see, according to Jung's work on the shadow self, narcissists survive by projecting their own hidden weaknesses onto others. They construct a fragile illusion of superiority by convincing themselves, and you, that you are the weak one, the broken one, the flawed one. But the illusion starts to crumble the moment you begin to heal, when you set boundaries, when you stop playing their games, when you refuse to be controlled. Something shifts deep inside their psyche. Jung called this the power inversion crisis. And once it begins, the narcissist realizes that the entire foundation of their identity is under threat. Because narcissists don't just crave love, they hunt for control. They are not seeking a partner to cherish. They are seeking someone whose energy, validation, and identity they can feed off of. Jung explained this as the inflated ego, a psychological state in which they must constantly prove their dominance to avoid confronting the deep emptiness inside themselves. When you were weak, lost, or endlessly seeking their approval, you were perfect for them. You provided the validation, the fuel, the supply they needed to feel powerful. But the moment you stop seeking their approval, the moment you trust your own instincts more than their manipulation, you become dangerous. You become a living reminder of their weakness, and that is when they deploy the weapon Jung warned us about. According to Carl Jung, narcissists resort to something he described as psychological projection warfare. At this stage, it's not enough for them to gaslight you, play the victim, or even smear your reputation. No, this is far more calculated. They launch a final assault on what Jung called your individuation process, your journey of becoming your true, authentic self. Here's what that looks like. They stop criticizing your weaknesses, and instead they target your strengths, the very qualities you've worked so hard to develop. Your boundaries, your confidence, your voice, suddenly become their ammunition. You've changed, and not in a good way. You used to be so caring, now you're selfish. Ever since you became successful, you're arrogant. You think you're better than everyone. Jung revealed why this happens. They know your strength is the only thing keeping you free from their control. So they attack it directly. He called this strength shaming. It's a psychological tactic designed to make you doubt, question, and even feel ashamed of the very qualities that liberated you. If you've learned to say no, they'll call you cold. If you've found your voice, they'll call you aggressive. If you've built confidence, they'll call you arrogant. And if strength shaming doesn't break you, they escalate to something even more insidious. Jung discovered that narcissists will then turn to nostalgic manipulation. They'll start longing for the old you, the version of you that was easier to control. Remember when you used to laugh at my jokes? You were happier before all those books and therapy. I miss the person you used to be. But let's be clear, they don't miss you. They miss the controllable version of you. And if you're not careful, you'll start to miss that version too, not realizing it was your prison. Now, here's where things get truly dark. Because when both strength shaming and nostalgic manipulation fail, the narcissist brings out their most dangerous weapon. Jung called this manufactured vulnerability. Suddenly, they collapse into crisis. They become fragile, desperate, broken. A health scare, financial disaster, family drama, emotional breakdown. It doesn't matter what form it takes. What matters is that it always happens at the exact moment when you are standing strongest in your power. Is it coincidence? No. Jung made it clear it's calculated. Narcissists keep mental records of your deepest triggers. What makes you feel guilty? What sparks your compassion? What gets you to abandon your own needs? And then, at the moment you're about to break free, they weaponize your empathy against you. And here's the terrifying truth Jung uncovered. Sometimes these crises aren't even real. They create the very problems they're begging you to solve. They sabotage their jobs, their relationships, even their health, just to engineer a situation that forces you back into the role of caretaker. But the real goal isn't your help. The real goal is to make you betray yourself. They want you to compromise the exact boundaries you fought so hard to build. I know you don't usually lend money, but this is different. I know you need space, but I really need you right now. I know you're focusing on yourself, but can't you just help me, just this once? Every just this once is designed to chip away at your strength. They aren't asking you for help. They're asking you to prove they still matter more than your well-being. And if you give in, Jung warned, you risk undoing everything you've worked for. The most dangerous part, their vulnerability feels real, and sometimes it is real. But Jung explained that narcissists are masters at choosing exactly which struggles to show you and exactly when to show them. They could call someone else, they could seek other help, but they come to you because they know you're the most likely to sacrifice your freedom for their survival. So how do you protect yourself? Jung gave us the answer: differentiated compassion. You can feel empathy for someone's pain without making it your job to fix it. Remember Jung's words, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. When a narcissist drags you into crisis, ask yourself, is helping them helping me become who I truly am, or is it pulling me back into the person I used to be? Here's Jung's most profound insight. Narcissists fear your strength because it reflects back to them the growth they've abandoned. You are living proof of what they could become if they chose authenticity instead of control. And that's why they will fight so desperately to drag you back down. But the moment you refuse, the moment you hold your boundary even in the face of their manufactured crisis, you expose the truth. Their power over you was always an illusion. True strength isn't about being untouchable. It's about recognizing manipulation when it comes, calling it by name, and choosing your authentic self anyway, because every attempt they make to pull you back is actually proof that you've already broken free. The narcissist's last dirty trick only works if you forget who you are. But once you see it for what it is, an act of desperation, you realize something extraordinary. Their need to control you is not a sign of your weakness. It is evidence of your freedom, and no crisis, no matter how convincing, is worth trading that freedom away. So stand strong, protect your boundaries, and remember, the moment you can't be controlled is the moment you finally start to live.